Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today we're taking a first look at the Viltrox 28mm f2.8 lens for the Sony E Mount. If you're new to the channel, I am a portrait photographer based out of Miami, Florida, and I primarily shoot with Sony and Leica. If you're returning to the channel, you'll know over the last year I've grown quite fond of Viltrox as a brand, and you've heard this story I'm about to say right now, but I feel like I have to repeat it for all the new viewers. A year and a half ago, if you would have asked me to review a Viltrox lens, I would have said no, because I didn't believe in budget lenses back then, and I didn't know Viltrox as a brand. But over the last year, I've been just very impressed with every single lens they have because they are extremely affordable and they have incredible quality. It's just the best value lenses out right now. And over the past year, Viltrox has started to expand their lenses into the pro line of lenses. They've only just kicked it up a notch for value and just optical design and everything. I'm just extremely happy with Viltrox. Well, today we're taking a massive step back because I'm reviewing a $158 Plastic Fantastic 20mm wide angle lens. When I got this lens, my first thoughts were this lens is gonna be trash because it's 158 bucks. You can hear it. Full plastic design. It does have a metal mount with a USB-C port for firmware upgrades, but how good can it be at that price point? There's only one other manufacturer that makes kind of budget lenses, Plastic Fantastics. That's Canon with their 50mm 1.8. They also kind of launched their 16mm 2.8 for their RF mount a few years ago. And if you tried that lens, Canon's new kind of approach is build a crappy lens and then correct it in post. They correct it with lens profiles, and essentially without the lens profiles, the lens is garbage. So that's what I was expecting for this lens. But before we get to image quality, let's just cover build quality real quick. This is an all plastic design, like I mentioned, metal mount, but it does have some pros because it is all plastic and it is this small. Paired with a Sony A7CR or any camera is an extremely lightweight option. And if you have it in your bag, you really won't feel it because it's made out of plastic. Another thing too, like this is a lens I'm not scared to take anywhere because at 158 bucks, if I break it, no big deal, right? You just buy another one. So even though it does have an all plastic design, I think it does have its pros. But how does it perform optically? So I'll start off by saying I am not a wide angle shooter. I am a 50mm guy. So don't judge me too hard for these photos. Essentially, I took this lens out over the weekend and just shot some pictures as my wife and I kind of went throughout our day. Another thing that's surprising is there is no lens profiles for this lens right now in Lightroom. So what you're seeing is edited images from me, but with no lens correction. So the vignetting, the distortion, it is straight out of this lens. And here's what I'm really impressed. Without any lens profiles or lens corrections, the distortion really isn't that bad. There is some serious vignetting, but that's manageable. And I personally think it adds to the image. But the distortion, I was really surprised at how well controlled it is at this price point. Another thing too, I didn't really notice that much purple fringing. Now, shooting in high contrast, you're gonna see it. You're also gonna see some hazing if you point this lens directly at the sun, but that is to be expected. As far as sharpness goes, this lens is sharp enough. So what I mean by that is, it's not gonna be the sharpest lens you own, but it's also not gonna be not sharp. So this is a lot sharper than most budget lenses out there at this price point. As a matter of fact, I'll probably say sharper than most of the lenses at this price point. So you'll be very impressed. Like I mentioned, there is vignetting and there is some slight distortion shot wide open, and that is without any lens correction. So at 158 bucks, like it really kind of surpasses all expectations. And for someone like me who is not a wide angle shooter, it's easy to justify adding this lens to the kit because at that price point, why not? You can have it in your bag. It doesn't really weigh anything. And if you ever need to shoot wide angle, you have something available. Also, when shooting wide angle, you usually stop down because you're shooting landscape or architecture. And by stopping down, you eliminate some of the vignetting and inherent distortion you get. So win-win. But I also think this lens is great for vlogging. 20mm is a great focal length for vlogging, and because this lens is made out of plastic and it's lightweight, it won't tire you out and you can carry it all day long. So again, another Viltrox lens. I'm impressed as always. And I can't believe I haven't found a dud yet. Like, I have yet to review a Viltrox lens where I'm just like, nah, don't pick this one up. So their streak continues, and they're just building and building and building. And if you haven't heard, this year